Welcome back everyone. So, fully done thread counts order, so I'm free to do whatever. So, but it did take me longer than what I thought it would. And it is just because little basic things are just changing how the layout was. So that has finally done, finished. Did have yet another power outage. So basically what happened at the last video is I was in process of actually recording some of the stuff and the power just went. We got it back on, 2 minutes later it went again, and it kept repeating that process. So after going to and from between my dad, who's an electrician, and finding out what the issue was in the first place, we still don't know. But yesterday's power outage was nothing to do with any of that. It was a complete power outage, and we got a message from Northern Grid to say, oh, the power's gone down, we'll get it up as soon as possible. They did, I'll give them that credit, but that also caused my machine to completely lose connection to the piece that it was doing. So that one, unfortunately, continue to get used as test subjects, because it was easy just to do one that's already destroyed than keep trying with the blanks. So the power outage, I've touched wood, it hasn't gone off today, and it didn't go off after that particular day last week either. We did come across an issue with his light upstairs because there's a leak somewhere in his roof, so we're waiting for a person to come round for that as well. So let's get back onto the juicy bit, shall we? So there's been something in my head for a while. Even Dave, my husband, I haven't really spoke about this a lot, but it was brought around when it comes to the little teddy bear keychains. Now, I think Inshallah is the way of doing it. Researched quite a bit, so I will link below who I did manage to find. But rummaging through my materials drawer, I've got there plastic, which I'll need, so stick around for that one. I'm using my big hoop because I'll pretty much be doing everything similar, because I'm not sure how big I want it. Might end reduce down to my 15cm hoop, but this one will be taking the first bit. So this is the material that I've got. So lovely, very sort of close teddy bear sort of. It really does remind me of teddy bear, and it is a great colour for my teddy bear too. So teddy bear, its belly and its bow. So just to reduce the amount of time that I'm stitching out, and just to have that sort of textile look, so majority of it, barring I think the eyes, the circles in the paws and nose and ears and things like that, that's the only thing that's going to be stitched. The rest of it's going to be an applique process, but what I'm going to do is literally show you all the way through it. It might go horribly wrong, it might go really well, but only time will tell, and you'll be along to see the ride. So let's go on with it. So I'm just going to set this up just so it's there ready. So the idea is I'm going to use my stabiliser as normal. I'm actually not going to cut this down because I want as much of it as I possibly can. Mind you, might be able to. I'm going to lay that across. I'm going to try and drop it down just a bit more. and then I'm going to put that on. So this has got quite a bit of stretch to it, but there's not going to be much stuff on it this time round. So I'm just going to a bit better. Right, so the idea is outline's going to happen. Outline of where I need to put the colours. So first one's going to be the stomach, and then the next one is going to be the thing. But first of all, I need to make, oh shoot. Okay, that's white is very fluffy. So I need 2 outlines. I'm going to put a fluffy butt on this one as well. So let me show you on computer and then we're good to go. So I did forget to do one thing. So what I've realised is when it was stitching out the white for the applique, it's not actually done, but I've done the outline as well as the zigzag stitch before I've actually cut it out. So what I'm going to do is just bring it back once I've cut them out, so at least it can do the zigzag stitch. So lots and lots of fabric. Kind of a bit of a waste with this one, because if I'd have thought about it, but I couldn't actually see where it was meant to go. So let's just cut it out as a basic, just to get the material off. Then what I might do is save this bit for the face. Right, so I've got these applique scissors, so these are nice and big, long, and it's easier for me to get into the smaller parts. So I am going to cut this really closely, because I know full well that I'll be going in with it again later on. Right, so the first part has finished. I did have to get it to go back round the nose and the bottom, because as I was thinking about how to put it together, it would be another satin stitch, but I need somewhere to be able to stuff it with stuffing. So by doing that, because that one already has one, it means that I can just stitch over it and it's not going to be as visible. And it's not going to be as obvious because it's not a satin stitch either. So this bit I'll be folding over. I'm going to cut generously round it, so I've got a bit of a way to be able to get it to hold a bit better. So it's time to cut it out. Hopefully put it together a bit and then stitch it out again. It will be floated on the plastic, and that's just so I can get it to, what's the word, stitch properly. Right, so let's get on. Hi everyone. So, how did it turn out? Front bit, back bit, great. This last bit, like I have done with the patches and everything else, I struggled because if you look at the back, it's not aligned, and that was even worse. I did find it a bit hard to take it off the plastic last time, so some of it is on there, but I can't really do anything until I actually try it. So let's take it out of its... There we go. So instead of just kind of supporting it down like I did with the applique, I did use double-sided sticky tape again. And I used the back to be able to try and do that. So as you see, it didn't quite go fully level, but it's enough that I can work with. So I need to take this plastic off. Hopefully the double-sided tape will also come off nicely. I'll see where the gaps are. Oh, that went quite nicely. Makes you wonder if it'll hold though. We will see. Better than last lot, which you can clearly see went all the way down there. Right. So seems alright, it's a work in progress. It's time to stuff it. Now, I'm stuffing him with just normal cotton wool ball. I haven't got Teddy stuff, but to say he's a prototype, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. I just need to make sure that there is no gaps that I can see and cut down the edge as well I can. So let's get on with it. Welcome back. So after having quite a long day, I'm going to be leaving it here. It's just because I've got so much work to do for commissions. So far 13 hats back and front is finished. I've just got another collection of, I think it's 11 jumpers and some hats as well. So everything's moving quite quickly on that one, but unfortunately it's something that they haven't released, so I can't show you yet. So the one thing that I was doing is my little teddy bear. Now, as much as he come out very, very cute, is a little bit out of proportion for the 3D look that I kind of wanted, and the main reason is I don't know what it is. It's with this neckline. If I was to do it again, I'd probably try and turn him inside out, but the issue is that I'd have to have more of a basic shape and more of an opening to be able to fold him underneath, rather than the little area that I did leave, which was down there. So yeah, I probably would do something again later on, just don't know when. I will probably cut the shapes out rather than just cutting them out when they're on the machine, and main reason is there's a lot of area that's gone over, so I'll have to try and figure that out. I'd have to realign to make sure that it's gone down. So when I've done applique before, it's usually on the patches. Before I started using B-film, I used double-sided sticky tape to be able to place it down, but that didn't quite work right. Didn't work quite well because it ended up with all of this area being cut off. So next time I probably would take it off the machine to actually lay it, just to be a little bit more sure. Stuffing him maybe were kind of fun. But like I said, the proportions are a bit out, so I would have to change something. So yeah, I think I probably would do it again later on. Would I kind of make a little real bow this time round? I might do. Not 100% sure yet though. So I'm going to leave it here because I've got quite a lot of stuff to do and I've only got today to do it. Or I should say I've only got today to do the video. So if you did like this, please like, subscribe. Love to hear your comments, so please do that. And I shall see you next week with something else to do. Bye!